Good day and welcome to episode 9. Episode 9 of Behind That Track. At this point, well, just like every other episode, I feel like I'm losing track of where we're at. Mostly because, well, I don't do this seriously or professionally. I do this just for myself and for the 2 to 5, maybe 10 people that watch these videos. So I'm pretty sure we're at episode 9. And today we are covering what's going to be, well, at this moment, not yet, but when you see this video, my newest track called Beat Rock. So, just like any other video, we're going to go through the major elements of this song, my motivation behind them, and if at any point there's something specific that you guys like or want to see more in depth, leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you really like what you're seeing, I'd love to get a like. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, Rock the Box. If you haven't listened to it, all the links are going to be in the description below, so you could find all the links to whichever streaming service you use. This was my attempt of recreating a similar track from one of my favorite artists. And essentially what it does is follow a very, I want to say catchy melody. It's a very unique melody that was sampled off an old track from the 80s. So what the artist did was basically sample it, use it with vocals from another sample track from the 80s, and pull together an absolute beautiful track, in my opinion. So, how did I start this track? Well, as I said, the core of my favorite artist's original track, or in this case, my reference track, the core was that melody. Okay. So what I did was pull apart that melody, re-engineer it, quote unquote, and change the key altogether. I didn't stick to the exact same thing. It's very similar. And I also tried recreating it with different, sounds. So I just get rid? Yeah, I got rid of what the original sounded like. So I can't even show you guys. Just trying to make space in this project and trying to save on my CPU, which is going crazy. So you're gonna notice some of these tracks are frozen. That's why. But essentially, this is the melody. Okay, I'll make you listen to it on its own just by selecting the first sound. So that's the first layer. This is the second layer. Much more of a mallet with a heavy echo on it. There's a second mallet. Once again, 2 mallets kind of coming together with a synth. And then I added a fourth synth that kind of just pans left to right. So all together, they sound like this. And I mean, it took me so long to get anywhere where I wanted to with this melody. So once I got it, I didn't touch it, So that's the main melody. That's what I started with. And I kind of worked around that. I, once again, used my reference track in terms of the layout of the track and, the elements that I used. But the melody, the bass was the second aspect. The bass took me a while because that reference track had I don't know what it had going on, but in one section, it was just, here, I'll show you the notes. It was just every eighth, as opposed to, in this case, it's every fourth instead of every eighth, but it sounded like it was every eighth. So it was very hard to decipher. But here's what I ended up doing for the main choruses or the main drops. I essentially kept it on the fourth note, but then during the build up, which you're going to hear here, I brought it back to every eighth. So it's more of a bouncing bass. So here's what the bass sounded like on every fourth. Yeah. And when I say every fourth, it's on their fourth notes. Pretty sure. I can't really see from, can't really check because it's frozen. But you could see like I had it. There's notes here that are completely grayed out. Those were the original notes. And this is what it sounds like here. Oh, there's a filter on it, so hold on, let me. So very similar structure, it's rolling and bouncing much more. So I at one point, as you could see, I had left it as is, but with the side chain, it just sounded like it was losing these notes. So even as much as I play with it, I'm like, you know what, let me just get rid of it completely. So that bass is made out of an acoustic bass. Pretty sure it's a Scarby bass. Yeah. There's a bouncy bass that I got off Analog Lab. And with a sub bass, once again, off Analog Lab. So all together, that's what it sounds like. So here's my kick and bass. This is what I had it sounding like. Now, for a lot of my tracks, I've been avoiding using a sub kick. This one, I brought it back with reason. I feel like the kick I had used, I used a retro kick here. So it's very much almost acoustic, almost analog, like it sounded like an actual recording of a regular kick as opposed to an electronic or digital one. So taking out that sub kick really makes a difference. So that's what my kick sounds like. This is what my kick and bass together sound like. So once again, nothing really unique there. So those are the two main elements. We had the melody and the bass with its kick. That's what drove the song. That's what motivated me to get the song. Those were the ideas. And I mean, drums, I'm not going to spend too much time on drums. I didn't use as many. I only got, 2, 4, 6, 7 total, which, I mean, I've been doing somewhat a lot more, somewhat a lot less, but it's the usual, I'd say, elements. So depending on what part it is of the drop, I've got a snare, hats with some claps, some more claps, a pumping clap, which I brought back from when I first started, a shaker, a tambourine, and pretty sure these are bongos. Oh, that's a cowbell, I would say. All right, so these are the drums. So if I give you the melody, the drums, and the kick and the bass together, here's where we at. Now it's starting to come together. Now you're starting to hear the final, result. The only thing really missing now are the vocals. And I mean, I had a guitar. I had to put in a guitar, and I'll make you guys listen to that in a moment. But vocals was a toughie on this one because, and I feel like it's a tough one on any project I do. I fight between sampling something old or diving into my crates and trying to find something from Splice or whichever record pool I'm using. So these were a sample. Sorry, these are from an acapella from an old 80s song. Pretty sure I have the name here. Hold on, what song is it? You Can't Hide from the Boogie from Donna Washington. So this is what they sound like on their own.
Feel the beat, it's telling me. I feel the beat, it's telling me.
So you could see it's kind of a repeating vocal. There are some parts that are different.
To get down, to get down.
So I had those kind of looping and just chopped up. There's also these, which I have in the background filtered.
Oh no, oh no. Oh no, oh no. Don't do that. Oh no, oh no.
So there wasn't much to work with in terms of just raw lyrics, but I made the most of it, looped at any place I could, and heavy use of echoes. You'll feel like those little spaces being filled up with the echo. So this is what the vocals sound like stacked and with one panning in the background.
Feel the beat, it's telling me. I feel the beat, it's telling me. I feel the beat, it's telling me. To get down, to get down.
So besides that, the vocals don't change too much. There is a section here in the long wide break in the bridge, if you want to call it, and it does change a bit here. So
to get down, to get down,
right here.
So let it spin. Hey, make it hot. We got to give everything we got. Oh no, oh no.
You can see, just if you can hear that properly, like these vocals were very difficult. Like, well, they didn't sound great. You know, vocal separation isn't perfect nowadays with all the technology. So that file didn't sound too great. So I wanted to use it, but sparingly. So that's only here. So this verse is there and at the end of the song only. So I only use it twice. Now, we got the melody, we got the bass, the kick, the drums. Hit the vocals, and the last thing really is the guitar. Again, something I fought with a lot. I like the sound of this one, but finding what notes to play where, like what did I want it on the lyrics, did I want it between the lyrics? So I'll show you an example here. Here's like a small bridge between both drops.
Feel the beat, it's telling me. I feel the beat, it's telling me. I feel the beat, it's telling me. To get down, to get down.
So you see like some notes of the guitar hit on the same time as the lyrics, some don't, some are in between. I had it kind of all over the place, and it changes. Like it's not the same here as it is in the build up here.
Let it spin, hey, make it hot. We got to give everything we got. Oh no, oh no.
But I love the sound of it. I love that grittiness of this electric guitar, and I mean, I made it work. I hope it works. I mean, you guys listen to the song, you tell me. But a new trick that I used this time was, as opposed to just leaving the guitar low in the mix with a heavy echo and kind of like hiding, I panned it left and right so that the vocals would come out more centrally. Obviously, the vocals are mostly in mono. So if you hear them together, they kind of never clash. So for reference, there's breaks where I use the guitars, and then there's the second drop, or the second part of the drop, where I bring like a chopped version of the guitar. So here,
feel the beat, it's telling me. I feel the beat, it's telling me. I feel the beat, it's
like there's a guitar on the left, guitar on the right here. I'll even make you guys listen. So that's on the left, this is on the right. And it gives that space in the middle for the vocals to sit in. So that's it. Those are the main elements of my song, Beat Rock. I mean, so much of this has been like long, just such a long process of fighting certain choices, decisions. Even the name, I had Rock the Box you're going to see here is the original song. I called it Beat Rock, Rock the Beat, Beat. I don't know. Just change every time. All my folders, they all have different names. So finally, I'm pretty sure I went with Beat Rock. Pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure. If I didn't, then there was a third name somewhere. But this song has been a few months in the making. It's kind of been ready for about a month, I'd say, but finding time to master it and properly mix it has been not difficult. You know, this is a hobby for me, but it's just a difficult song. There's so much going on, and I had to do a lot of tweaking, and I don't even know if it came out sounding perfect. I think my reference track sounded infinitely better, and of course, you can only aspire to be so perfect. But that is it at its core, you know. So if you guys want to take a final listen, please, the links are below. Major, you know, streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, whatever you use. I even have it on SoundCloud. But essentially, we'll break this down again. This song is essentially based off 4 main elements. The first is this catchy melody that I made here. Add that to a plucky bass and a heavy kick. Drums. Now add in our vocal and our plug guitar, and we have the final product.
Telling me, I feel the beat. It's telling me, I feel the beat. It's telling me to get down, to get down.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you want specific parts, you know, looked at, you want to see what my plugins are, what my mixing is done on whatever channel, leave a comment down below, leave a like, whatever you prefer. This song, Beat Rock, is live now. This was episode 9 of Behind That Track. Thank you guys for whoever listened this far into the mix and into the recording. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. See you next time.